go to the stock of the day, Telix Pharmaceuticals, which continues to run after those better than expected quarterly results that we saw yesterday. Andrew, any views on this one?
So again, not one that I've looked at super closely, but given the performance of it over the last 5 years, I probably should have been looking at it pretty closely. I note that it's up around 70% per annum for the last 5 years. So it's been going along incredibly well. One of the things I like to look at is what skin does management have in the game? And in this particular instance, the CEO owns around 7% of the business, or what's that, about $200 million. So I always like to see people with a little bit of hurt money in there. There's a fair bit of hurt money involved. I think the reason the market got all excited is because they came out and said that they're cash flow positive now for the second quarter. They're building on that cash that they've got. They've got about $121 million in cash. And they've also got that 63% margin. Plus there's a whole lot of extra good news coming. So I quite like it, and certainly from the point of view of the size, it's about $2.8 billion, good trading activity every day. So the PE is probably, if I was being a bit negative, which is hard for me to do, especially in the steam company that I have with my best mate Henry, but PE of 67 versus forecast earnings growth of 25, so it is pricey. It's undoubtedly pricey, but it's got lots of momentum, lots of good news. I like it. Why don't we start on a positive note? Why don't we say it's a buy?
Oh wow, a buy already. Gosh, this is a nice change. Henry, are we going to have another buy here?
I think we're going to.
Oh my God! Oh, this is my first double buy for the week. Anyway, let's hear your thoughts.
I think we're going to. I mean, this to me is, I kind of call them penguin stocks, and I know that's a bit weird, but there comes a time when all the penguins are on the ice floe, and then you get one that jumps in the water, and then everybody jumps afterwards. And we see that a lot with medical device companies, biotech companies. Once you get some traction, once the first penguin jumps, the other penguins follow. These guys have had lots of penguins jumping. The revenue's doing pretty well. They've got a nice build up of cash. Stock price is doing well. They're in the prostate cancer screening business with their imaging technology. Illusic is the technology. Sales are up 27% in the US. There's not much not to like in this one, sorry to double negative, but there is a lot to like about this stock. I mean, not all biotechs are born equal, not all medical device companies are born equal. This is one that is producing revenue, is now heading towards profits, good cash build up, chart looks good. The guy's got skin in the game. He probably didn't realise he had quite so much skin in the game when he started out, because this was a much smaller company. But you know, when you get it right, in biotech land, you can get it really right, or medical device land. Look at our two biggest companies, or some of our two biggest companies, Cochlear, a medical device company that's got it right, and CSL. I'm not talking about ResMed, I think that's a dog. Oh. And CSL, which, you know, is again been a huge success story. Another one that's been a huge success story is Neuron Pharmaceutical, which has gone nuts. I interviewed the CEO earlier this year actually, and they had a date and they had some milestones. Everything has happened. The stock's doubled. It's just going like a train. Again, another biotech that is actually making revenue. People like these stocks. There's a lot happening in the biotech land, medical device land as well. So I like Telix. I'm going to give it a buy.
Fantastic, gentlemen. That's absolutely excellent. Exactly. The drum roll's going on here.
No, it's the wiggles.
It's the wiggles thing going on. Okay, I've got to learn the jingo here. A double buy, but it makes sense because ultimately in a higher interest rate environment, you want companies, cash flow, as you said, skin in the game from management. So totally get where you're coming from. And like you, Andrew, I haven't been in there. So, you know, more for me.